Hey YouTube, thought I'd do a follow-up video on my Ride1Up CORE-5. I've got the bike in the house. I usually bring it in the house at night, charge it in the house. I almost never take the battery out, or at least so far. Just drive it right into the house and then charge it in the house. So I thought I'd give you a little update. You can look on YouTube and you can see my initial impressions video. And now I've got just short of 100 miles on my bike. So I thought I'd tell you a little bit about it. What I'm thinking so far. Still love it. Still think it's a beautiful bike. You can see a couple of the changes. I'm not going to talk about all the basic things that I talked about last time. Just kind of show you some things that I did differently. Tell you some impressions of riding the bike. Because I've got it inside already, I'm not going to take a ride on it. In fact, I don't really get those videos where you ride around on a bike. There's my little dog. So anyway, be quiet, Toby. There's my big dog, Ike. Ike's not going to say too much. He's kind of got a hitch in his giddy up. So I'm not going to take a ride. I'm not sure what you can tell by me holding the camera and riding the bike, what that'll tell you. But I'll describe it as well as I can, my initial impressions. So just a few things about my bike. We just got back from about a 15-mile ride out to Texas A&M. I live in Bryan, Texas, and we rode over to College Station and then rode on to campus and rode around campus and rode home. So it was a great ride. Let's see, initial impressions. Love the bike, very comfortable. As you can see, I've replaced the seat with something that's got a little larger size to it. I find this to be very comfortable. One of the things you're really going to have to pay attention to with your seat that I learned, whatever seat that you use, is what the angle is front back. I had mine tilted too far back and that became very uncomfortable. And so you can play with those, you can loosen it up underneath and it'll actually rotate forward or get a level out and just make it slightly forward a level. And I found that to be the most comfortable. You may feel differently. If you watch my other video, you can see an addition here on the back. This is an Mtx. I didn't want to go with a standard bike rack. This just attaches to the seat post. And it's an Mtx bike rack. It's only got about a 25 or 30 pound capacity. It's not too much capacity, but I'm not going to be riding any kids back there or anything. Just going to be used for light storage. And then this Mtx system, if you haven't seen it, is really cool. Basically, the way it works is it's got this little lever that you can see right here. You push that down and this slides right off of this rail. And then you can take it wherever you're going to take it and then slide it back on and it clicks in. So I keep my gloves, my riding gloves in here. You can see this opens up. You can store, I've got my wallet, my keys, some masks in case we went in a store or anything. We're still down on semi-lockdown in Texas. You can go places, but you kind of have to have a mask. So really enjoyed that. That was our first long ride with the rack on it. Makes it a little harder to swing your leg over. In fact, I kicked it a few times swinging my leg over. One cool thing that I've done, I told you last time about this is the cell phone holder from Ride1Up that you can purchase with the bike. And I purchased that, I love it. But the other cool thing that I've done is I added, let me see if I can get it out here. I added a Bluetooth speaker. If you get this Mtx bag, this little Sony speaker, it's on sale right now at Target for $39. But this little Bluetooth speaker fits right down in there. And you can listen to all kinds of music. I was listening to Willie Nelson on my ride, but whatever your pleasure is. So it's plenty loud. Enjoy music while you're riding. The max volume is right at where you can hear the music, but you can still have a conversation if somebody pulls up next to you. And then it's got this nice little thing, you can just tighten it up. If you go this route and you get this speaker in this bag, make sure that you tighten that enough. I hit a bump and my speaker flew out. But fortunately it was on a road that wasn't busy and I was able to go back. In fact, the music never stopped. It was still playing Willie Nelson when I picked my music up and put it right back in the bag. So that's probably the biggest change since the last review I did. I had a birthday. My daughter gave me this little front bag for my birthday, and I keep my sunglasses in there. So when I forget sunglasses and I need them on my ride, I'll just reach up front and have a spare set of sunglasses up front. So let me give you some impressions. Ike's going to come listen to our review. Hello, Ike. Let me give you some impressions of riding the bike. Speed is, again, like I said in my first video, speed is not an issue. If you're worried about does the CORE-5 have enough power for you, I would say forget about it. I'm a 235-pound, 53-year-old man. I ride on the road and through neighborhoods, that kind of thing. I find that it's got plenty of speed. It's got plenty of acceleration. I don't ride up major hills, but we've got some small hills, and so it's going to keep you, you know, you can be at power assist level 3 or pedal assist level 3, just lightly pedaling in, say, 4th gear, and you're going to be at 18, 19 miles an hour going up a light hill. And so plenty of power. So if you're thinking about the Limited versus the CORE-5, and you go, man, I think I might need that extra power, I'm thinking you're probably not going to need it unless you're going to be facing some serious hills. The CORE-5 ought to be enough power for you. As far as battery power, you know, that's one thing that I'm kind of a little bit concerned about. I would say that I'm looking at about 25 miles of range per charge. And I know that's within the range of what they say, but that's with being on pedal assist level 3 and pedaling and using throttle, not very much. So I'm getting on the lighter end of the range that they tell you that you're going to get. So I think that's fair that I'm within the range. Also, I'm probably on, you know, I'm probably heavier than the guy that they used it when they tested the bike. So if my wife were on the bike, she probably is going to get, you know, towards the middle or towards the higher end of the range. But anyway, I wanted to give you an idea of what kind of range I'm getting. One issue that was brought up by someone on the Ride1Up owners page that I think is a fair criticism, and that is that it's not an easy bike to go slow on. I was telling you earlier about the speed. If you ride with people who are not using electric bikes and you're going to want to be in the 10 and 11 mile per hour range to ride with your friends, but you just want the electronic assist so that it's easier for you, this may not be the bike for you. It wants, as soon as you have any level of pedal assist, it wants to go 14 miles an hour. And so you're going to be at 14 miles an hour plus unless you're coasting or unless you're braking. But if you have pedal assist on, and even if you're going just throttle, it's not easy to throttle at, say, 10 or 11 or 12 miles per hour. It wants to go 14 and north of that. So something to be aware of, again, particularly for those people that are going to be riding with non-electric assist bike riders. So very much been enjoying the using the bottle rack. That actually works great. I don't take the battery out, so that's no issue. I have used these lights at night, and they do put a good amount of light out. I feel pretty comfortable riding at night. So I just have to remember and keep them charged. One thing I have done is I replaced the pedals with some aluminum pedals. The other ones they're really nice pedals. They're plastic pedals, and they're a little bit smoother on top. I went over a curb and my foot slipped off the pedal. This is with the previous pedals. Went over a curb because you don't have much pressure. You know, when you're riding these electric bikes and you have the pedal assist on, you're getting very little pedal pressure. It's almost like you're coasting down a big hill and yet you're still trying to pedal. And so you have very, very little foot pressure on the pedal. So I was in that situation and I went kind of unexpectedly off a curb. And because I didn't have pressure on that pedal, my foot came off the pedal. It spun around and it hit my shin and skinned up my shin. I didn't crash or anything, but that pedal hit my shin. And I was like, you know, in this situation, I'd like to have a pedal that has a little more grip. And so that's why I went to the aluminum pedals. So anyway, feel free to ask questions below. I like to interact, and so I'll answer the questions. I know some of you are thinking about buying the Ride1Up CORE-5. Again, I mentioned in my first video that I had a little issue with the bike that I was resolving with Ride1Up, and that Kevin was involved. And let me just say, great customer service. They responded to every email that I sent them. They were very customer service focused. They wanted to take care of it. It was an issue related to getting my brakes adjusted. We were able to sort it out. My brakes did get adjusted. The brakes work great, and so that issue is completely resolved. So I wanted to make sure and let everyone know that. So let me just say again, if you're thinking about buying the CORE-5, plenty of power, all the features you would want. I'm the kind of guy that wants to go out and get my own accessories, so I don't need a bike that comes with all the accessories. I'd like, as you can see from the rack, I like to go out and kind of do my own thing with a bike and give it my own look. So I'd rather buy something that is a good, solid bike with a lot of the fundamentals in place, good power, good battery. Let me say a little bit about battery capacity. I talked a little bit about that. You know, that's the one thing with the Limited that I think, you know, might be something that you would consider if you want to have. I said before that you might consider it for the power, but on riding this, I think this has plenty of power. But battery capacity is something that, you know, once you got your battery, it is what it is, you know, unless you want to pay, I don't know, $400 or something like that to upgrade. So that would probably be the biggest thing in my mind is battery capacity. The way that I anticipate riding, I think that I'm going to have plenty, but I've got my brother and his wife are getting e-bikes. My wife's got an e-bike and hers already has more battery capacity. So I may be the light one in the group on what kind of distance that I can drive on a single charge. And so that may be the only thing right now that sort of sticks in my mind is maybe I should have gone a little larger on battery capacity or bought the Limited to get a larger battery capacity. But other than that, love it, everything across the board. I'll respond to questions that you put in the comment section. And thanks a bunch. I'll keep you updated and I'll do another video as we go. I want to do some comparison videos to my wife's bike and my brother and his wife's bikes as they get some time on theirs. So, all right, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Questions below.